under Teams, Microsoft Teams, you should see a sidebar along the side with various different tabs. So the one you're going to want to click on is the Teams. Your classes should already be set up. All of my classes are set up, so if you're in my class, then you should have the corresponding class for us. So, for example, if you go click on the class, you then have channels underneath. So my Year 9 classes, I'm their only teacher, so we're probably just going to use the general channel. However, my Year 10 classes, I've set up a channel for the chemistry topics that I've been teaching you, so that we can just talk about the chemistry work in those channels, rather than the general channel getting too messy with lots of teachers and lots of different topics in that one place. So I'm in my Year 9 Curie class at the moment, and the general, there's in that general channel, there's a variety of tabs along the top. Posts is where you'll get a lot of information, mainly from me, but also when I set assignments, they do a post in that posts tab so that you know that that's upcoming, when it's due, and it becomes very easy to click on view assignment, and it will, if I go into student view, then it should be what you see. So I will attach the document that I've set on Go for Schools so that you have it there to access as well, and this will be where you submit it. Obviously, this isn't a student account, so it's not an exact view of what you will see, but I've emailed you a video with how to submit work in assignments, but you should see a button to upload a file and then a button to hand in the work. So make sure you do that final hand in the work after you've uploaded the file as well, so that it comes up saying that you've handed it in, so that I know to look at it. So you can get to it from clicking on the view assignment, but you can also just click on the assignments tab, and then it will show the different assignments that you have coming up. And once I've marked them, they will then go into the marked assignment section on there. The other useful feature on here is this files tab up at the top. So what I've done is in class materials, putting in the work that I've set on Go for Schools, so the PowerPoint, the instructions, and any resources and questions, so that it's all in one place, nice and easy for you to access, and also to be able to go back to previous week's work if there's something that you weren't able to do that one week, or you want to have another look at, refresh yourself of maybe a PowerPoint that then links into a future week, then you'll be able to look back and do that. Class notebook, this uses OneNote. You don't have to do it in OneNote app. I find it easier. However, as you can see, you can access it in Teams itself, or you can open it in the browser or in the desktop app. So whatever works easiest for you. There's an arrow here, which is the navigation panel. This then brings out a list of folders. As I'm a teacher, I've got a list of all of your folders. However, as a student, you will only have your folder, the content library, and the collaboration space, and the welcome. So in the content library, this is where I'm adding majority of this stuff. So in the using class notes, there's a bit about the content library from OneNote, but also I've done an introduction as to how I will be using it. And the main focus of this page is the class notes section here. is where I'm going to add instructions for the week's work, checklist of activities, links to videos, and handouts, past paper questions, quizzes. So as well as some of those things being in the files class materials folder, I will also be putting printouts of those into handout sections, past paper questions into there, so that again it's easy for you to access. So what you want to do is go into class notes. So lesson 2, diseases in humans, so this was for last week. I'm not sure why week 3 is not coming up, but if you right click on it and then you can go on to move or copy, and then you can then copy it into your own class notes section and press copy. You shouldn't have the option to move it out of there as the content library. It should be that only I can edit it, so that we don't have accidental moving it into your own folder and then it's not there for someone else. But once you've copied it into your own class notes, then you're able to see the list of things for you to do, and then you can just be checking them off as you go. I'm not sure why it's not letting me edit. Let's try swapping to this view. So still in Curie Notebook, as you can see, it's a little bit different to what's on Teams. There must be some sort of sync error, but here you can see you can check it off as you're completing it, so it makes it easy for you to keep on top of what you have and haven't done. You'll see some of the tasks I've put in as optional. If you are interested in it, then it's a useful resource for you to have a look at. Learning task is about our new topics, whereas the revision questions task, here, atoms and radioactivity, is one of our topics that we just finished before the school shut, but we didn't get that opportunity to consolidate, and therefore having these questions so that I know what gaps we're going to need to be able to close. But here's an example of the worksheet which I will have sent to you, but it's here as well so that you can fill it in as you go. So for example, HIV is from a viral pathogen. Change it to a different colour so that we can see we're adding it over, and so you can effectively type into the box as you go. What you can then do is, if you do Control P, you can print the page and you could save it as a PDF, and that's then going to have your answers in that page there. Maybe the page size needs to be changed to landscape for that bit, as that was the original setup of that slide, but you get the idea that you can print it into a PDF, which will then make your work easy to submit. That will be more helpful for the past paper questions, where you can type, drag it over to the answer, save it as a PDF and submit it onto Teams. As class notes, if you're doing it in OneNote, then you can just leave that in your class notes folder and I can go look at it in there rather than having something additional to submit on Teams. You'll see that I've done links to the handout sections and links to the past paper questions, so that it is easy for you to go to the various bits that you need to do for that week's work. Week 3, you'll see here there's a YouTube link to video that I've uploaded onto the Samuel Ward YouTube channel in order to help you completing this method description diagram table. for how the white blood cells affect and help treat pathogens. And just going back to Microsoft Teams, other tabs I want you to see is along the top here, where I've done some Quizlet sets on the topics that we're studying. So for year 9 we're doing disease, so it comes up on flashcards, but you can also click on the different links to test yourself in order to help revise this content as we are going. I have now been able to update this into the Teams version of the notebook. The way I did that was I opened it in the browser and it automatically refreshed it in the Teams, as well as it being the same as what's on the website. So I'm going to have TBCs for future weeks. However, if the week that we're currently on, which you'll be able to check on Go for Schools, isn't showing here, then do just open it in the browser or open it in the app, whichever way you're using it, just to make sure that it has got all the information that you will need to do this week's work and help you. When I'm trying to click on this link, it's saying, sorry, OneNote can't open this link. However, I know that there is a link set up for that in handouts, and when I go into handouts, actually it's missing quite a few handouts here. So pressing open in browser, if you haven't downloaded the app, and if we click here, it then takes us to what should have been the knowledge organizer pages. So I would just make sure that all these notebooks are synced properly. And then let's try this again. And yeah, now our handouts are all coming up. So if that is a problem, do let me know, as if I'm seeing it in my notebook but it hasn't synced up to yours, then I will just need to be able to sync it so that you can see it as well and therefore copy it over. So I will try and keep an eye on that, but obviously if you let me know too, then that is helpful.